I found out I'm the literal backup to my pregnant fiancé and walked out. Her phone died 2 weeks before our due date. She handed me her old one without even looking up from the couch, just pointed toward the drawer and said it should be wiped already. It wasn't. I didn't go looking for anything. I want to be really clear about that. I was sitting at the kitchen table deleting old apps, half watching TV, completely unbothered. We were having a good night. She was tired, but happy. I'd made dinner, we'd been laughing about baby names we'd already ruled out, and she had her feet in my lap while she watched something on her tablet. It was one of those quiet nights that reminds you why you chose someone. That's the part that keeps gutting me when I think about it now. I'm scrolling through her photo app about to clear it out when I notice the message threads are still there too. I'm not a snooper. Never have been. We've always had that kind of relationship where neither of us felt the need to dig through each other's stuff. So I almost closed it. Almost. But one name caught my eye because it was her best friend. And the preview line just said, okay, so rank them properly this time. And something about that made my stomach drop before I even understood why. I opened it. It was a thread from about 3 years ago, right around the time she came to me and said she thought we should stop being casual and actually commit. I remember that conversation so clearly. She was nervous, twisting the sleeve of her jumper. And I told her I'd been hoping she'd say that for months. I meant it completely. But in this thread, 2 weeks before that conversation, she was doing something else entirely. She was making a list. 4 guys. All of them she'd been seeing casually at some point. She was going through each one with her friend like she was comparing options on a spreadsheet. Income, stability, whether they actually wanted kids, how they handled pressure, long-term potential. Her friend was asking questions and she was answering them honestly. Maybe more honestly than she'd ever been with any of the men on that list. I get to my name and I sit up straighter without meaning to. Not my usual type physically. Shortest of the 4. Oldest by 4 years. But the job is solid, he's actually funny, and I feel weirdly comfortable around him. Like I don't have to perform, and he actually listens when I talk, not just waiting for his turn. Her friend said something like, okay, but do you actually like him or is this just practical? She said, both I think. Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough. I put the phone face down on the table. She's right there, 10 feet away from me, 9 months pregnant, feet tucked under a blanket. She's got this thing she does when she's sleepy where she rests her chin on her hand, and her eyes go half closed, but she refuses to admit she's tired. I've loved that about her for years. I've told her I love that about her. She always laughs and denies she's falling asleep. She looked over at me because I'd gone quiet and asked if everything was okay. I didn't say anything. I just looked at her. She saw the phone. She clocked the expression on my face, and I watched something shift in her eyes the second she realized which thread was open. She started talking immediately, fast. That spiral you go into when you know there's no good opening and you're just trying to find one anyway. She said it was old. She said she was a different person then. She said if I just let her explain the context. Her voice was going higher and her hands were shaking and she was trying to reach for me across the couch. I held up my hand and she stopped. I told her I needed a minute. I went to the bedroom, sat on the edge of the bed in the dark and just tried to breathe through it. 2 years of memories were doing this thing where they were reordering themselves in real time. Every milestone suddenly had a question mark sitting next to it. The first time she said she loved me, the day we picked out the flat, the night she called me from the hospital after her surgery and I stayed on the phone with her until 3 in the morning. Me crying when I proposed. Her saying yes like it was the easiest answer she'd ever given. And underneath all of it, that sentence on a phone screen 3 years ago. Maybe that's enough. I packed a bag. She was standing in the doorway of the bedroom trying to keep it together and not managing it. Crying hard, hand pressed to her stomach the way she does when the baby moves. Kept saying my name, not even full sentences, just my name, over and over. Like that alone might be enough to stop me. It wasn't. I booked a room at a place nearby, drove there in silence and sat on a strange bed in a room that smelled like someone else's fabric softener. And I read that entire thread again from the start. And the thing is, I can see it. I can see where she made a real choice and committed to it. I can see the messages stop as things got serious between us. I can see that everything she said to me over the past 2 years has had no version of that cold calculation in it. She's been warm and present and openly, embarrassingly in love with me in the way that you can't fake every day for 2 years. But I also keep coming back to the beginning. The version of us that I thought was 2 people who just fell into each other. And now I know it was 1 person running the numbers and landing on me as the best available option. She's left 17 messages in 2 days. Voice memos, texts, a video where she's sitting on our bed at 2 in the morning with her face swollen from crying, talking about how scared she is, how sorry she is, how none of it captures what she actually feels now. I believe her. That's the part that's making this so hard. I believe her and I still can't make myself walk back through that front door.